What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with the weekly reset breakdown for Destiny 2 this Tuesday, July 23rd. And so, of course, we're heading into week 2 of Act 2 of Episode 1. And of course, the definitions by which we track our progress this episode are getting somewhat ludicrous, but we do get some new content this week. So we'll talk about what's coming for Act 2, new weekly quest steps, failsafe research upgrades, challenges, and the new Battlegrounds. We'll talk about those. Additionally though, we'll round up some updates from Bungie, and on top of that, of course, we have the refresh for the rest of the content in the game, the Nightfall for the week, which will be Liminality, so that's bound to be interesting, but also featured activities like dungeons, raids, exotic missions, and all of the key unlocks and rewards for the week. And so we'll be rounding up the bulk of what there is to know about this week's reset, and as always, I hope the video is useful. But before we get going guys, who do you think today's video is sponsored by? Well, it's a juicer of a game, and this month it features some very cool events that you won't want to miss out on, including some epic free unlocks for new players, and its Raid Shadow Legends. Right now, new players can unlock a free legendary champion called Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, and this champion can block and steal buffs from enemies, weaken enemies, and even revive himself fully. So once you download the game, use promo code Monkey King in the store, and you'll get 2 extra free epic heroes. The first is Tayrel, who can be unlocked when you register, and Tagore, that you get access to when you hit level 25 in the game. Even better though, running up to August 17th is a special event where players can upload gameplay of their champions in action, and following that there'll be a community vote for the 12 best submissions, and those with the most votes can win epic prizes like gaming consoles, a drone, which is pretty wild, plus VR headsets and Amazon gift cards worth up to $2,000. So it's a great time to start playing Raid. New players can use my link or scan the QR code on screen to unlock a free reward package with upgrade materials like energy refills, XP boosts, 200k silver, and an ancient shard. On top of that, you'll unlock the free champions we just mentioned, and a whole bunch of other items to get you started. So scan the QR code on screen, as it really helps me out on the channel, plus it gets you some juicy new Raid Shadow Legends content this month. So all of the details are down below, and thanks to Raid for sponsoring the video today. Now though, getting into the Destiny 2 content for the week, and of course, initially, we do get new Echoes episode content. So one of the interesting components this week is that Bungie will launch a new Battleground. This will be Battleground Core, and from the image we have, it would appear that there's a bit more of a Taken influence in this one, so it'll be interesting to check that out, and I believe we'll actually get access to it via the quest steps for the week. So of course, Failsafe will have additional steps this reset, and it will also unlock a new Ness quest, one of the research quests that Failsafe has, and potentially that will allow us to then focus for some of the new legendary weapons added in this episode. So we'll be looking out for that, but otherwise it'll be typical weekly progress. And of course, there'll also be weekly challenges. So there's Discoveries 2 to complete Act 2 Part 1 of A Rising Chorus, and then the Research and Development quest to complete Specimen ID Nest 05, so we'll get access to those as we're questing. We also have Aggressive Exploration to complete the episode Echoes Battleground Playlist Weekly Challenge, and then there's one to activate Assimilation Pistons with the Piston Hammer, Electric Shred to defeat Vex with arc damaging Gambit or Vanguard Ops, and we have Arcing Sparks to defeat Guardians with arc damaging Crucible, then Rapid Precision to get precision final blows, and bonus progress is granted for killing Guardians, and for every defeated target after the second one. So those are the weekly challenges alongside the content that we've got for the reset. But moving on to other content in the week, of course some of the stuff on Pale Heart will reset, so we'll get a featured co-op campaign mission, and on top of that, we'll get the refresh for Salvation's Edge, and Excision of course, which includes the Grandmaster variant, so there are a couple of pinnacle drops and things there as well. Then for the featured raid and dungeon content, firstly, Crota's End will actually be the featured raid. I'm not sure if this has ever happened, but it doesn't happen very often nonetheless, so of course it's an opportunity to farm any of the legendary loot pool, so that's useful. I'm not sure about farming for Oversoul drops for Necrochasm. That might be a thing as well, we'll just have to wait and see, but otherwise, from the moon, the Duality dungeon will also be featured, where we can farm for the Heart Shadow exotic sword, so a couple of decent farmable activities right there. But then in the Legends tab, we'll also get the featured exotic mission Avalon, according to Bungie. They had previously said it would come up on a different week and then it didn't, so hopefully that will be corrected this time, but we can finally head back into Nord Avalon, where we can pick up the Vexcalibur exotic sword, which is a craftable weapon. So if you missed out on that one previously, it'll be a good thing to jump into this week. week. For the Vanguard though, we're going to have Liminality as the featured Nightfall strike, so of course that'll mean the first opportunity to play it as a Grandmaster, and it'll be interesting as a Nightfall in general. Of course, Bungie said it would be one of the harder Nightfalls, so it'll definitely be interesting to see what it is like on GM, but in terms of the reward, we just can't say exactly what the weapon is going to be yet, as the rotation seems to be all over the place and sort of changing on a weekly basis, so I'll just have to keep you posted with that at the weekly reset. But in the Crucible, we are going to see bonus rewards all week long, so that might be a useful one, and Sparrow Control, as well as Supremacy and Countdown, then Trials on Friday's Daily Reset, will be all of the featured modes for Crucible this week. I will keep you posted with the Eververse inventory at the reset on Tuesday, as of course we won't know exactly what will come up until then. But to Eternity and the Dares of Eternity, the additional drops on top of the core loot table this week will be the Scatterhorn and Lightkin armor sets, as well as a bunch of weapons from Season of the Splicer and some Forsaken World drops. Then for the featured Lost Sectors this week, for Tuesday, initially we'll get Hydroponics Delta on Neomuna for July 23rd, and that can drop the Geodetic HSM, Glissando 47, Heliocentric, and the Mikado 45. Then for July 21st, it'll be Vel's Labyrinth in the Cosmodrome, which can drop the Crux Termination, Nox Perennial, PSI Hamatic, and the Rossarago. Then for July 25th, it'll be Exodus Garden 2A, which can drop Combined Action, Last Foray, Parabellum, and Old Sterling. From there, the Legendary loot pool will reset, but July 26th will be the Broken Deep on the Pale Heart, July 27th will be Blooming Deep on Pale Heart, and then we'll get Forgotten Deep for July 28th. Then finally, for July 29th, it'll be Perdition on Europa, and of course the Lost Sectors have the chance to drop Exotic Engrams on solo clears, as well as those legendary items as well, so good luck if you happen to be hunting anything down there. But our final mention in the Dreaming City will be the Ascendant Challenge, and this week it'll be the Forfeit Shrine, which is accessed via the Garden of Isilla, so a pretty easy one to get to, but if you need the location, we'll run some gameplay at the end of the video. And otherwise, for today, guys, that is what we have to round up for the weekly reset. So once again, as always, I'll keep you posted with updates and things like that from Bungie. So keep it locked and loaded here on the channel, get subscribed, and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss out on any content. But if you found the video useful, a rating below really helps us out as well. And let us know anything you're planning to get done inside of the reset this week. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Down. Guardian down. Guardian down.